Hey, beautiful people. I am Shemeka Wright, and this is Balanced Life. Let's talk about the plan when we have this vision, this idea of what it is that we are going to do, how it is that we are going to do it. And then life just throws us all of these wrenches. And before you know it, we are a little off track and we're trying to figure out how we're going to get back. I'm going to share a little story with you. But before we do that, I want to announce that BU Candles is going out of business. You know that I normally have my business sponsor the show, but as of May 31st, 2025, BU Candles is closing its doors. This is not something that came along as an easy decision. I was contemplating it last year when I had also had the home decor business as part of it as well. So for those of you that have been with me for a while, you know it started off as BU Candles, and then I incorporated some home decor, and so I was doing just the whole kit and caboodle. Well, last year, business just really started to struggle to the point of which I could not sustain. The majority of the monthly business bills were needing to be paid out of my personal pocket because the business was not making enough money to sustain itself. And we all know in business that is a no-no. So I was already contemplating it in 2024. I just wanted to kind of ride out the year and see if things maybe picked up, because candle season usually is around the holiday time. And I wanted to see if maybe I was going to have, just an explosive year, things kind of get turned around and maybe I could keep it. Well, that did not happen. So because that did not happen, I did decide in 2024, leaning heavy on, I was going to just cut my losses. Well, then we enter into 2025 and everybody is fully aware of the shit show that's happening now. So in California, the company that was doing my home decor piece of the business, they were affected in the areas of the wildfires. Because of that, that impacted sales and it impacted delivery times, and it caused an increase. Okay, on that end. Then we have the tariffs that come into play. And in anticipation of that, the vendors that I was using started to increase their prices because, they wanted to kind of get ahead of the game. Well, I could not sustain that. Bottom line, because like I said, in 2024, we already was struggling and I already was taking care of the majority of the expenses out of my personal account just to keep the business alive. Like the bootstrapping was like on 1,000 and I just had to quit. So I had decided that this is it. Once the combination of the wildfires here in California and then adding on the tariffs, I was like, okay, all the signs are there. I need to shift to the plan, which is the reason why we're having this discussion today on this topic. I need to shift to the plan that I originally had before I kind of got down this path. So with all that being said, I have decided that May 31st, 2025 is going to be the last day that I am accepting orders for BU Candles. You are more than welcome to help us clear out any inventory. And if you need any supplies because you are a candle maker or you're starting off your candle business, then you can DM us and we can see what it is that we have that we can be able to sell to you. Okay. I have everything from fragrance oils, wicks, you name it. Let's talk about it. Anything that can help us clean this inventory, I greatly appreciate it. Before I exit this though, I want to just take a minute to really give just whole heart thanks to every business owner that has supported BU Candles, every customer that has supported BU Candles, whether you brought a product, you shared a post, you gave me a like, you gave me a comment, you connected me with someone to help me collab. I want to sincerely thank you. I want to put the utmost thanks to Buy From a Black Woman for allowing for me to participate in so many ventures that not only help my business, but also help my business journey develop personally. So Nikki and team, Thank you. Special shout out to Nantale from Black Girl PR. Girl, I don't know what it is that I would do without you. Even as you know that I am transitioning out of this business and the new business that I am transitioning into, you are right there helping me every step of the way. And I don't know what I would do in this business journey without you. So sis, thank you so much. So with that being said, May 31st again, very last day to buy things from BU Candles. The website is going to be live until that time. Send us a DM. This is not a sad and sorrow goodbye. It is a transition. This is ending for me, and now I'm starting on something new, which I am very excited about, and we will share that later. Okay? So now that all the business is out of the way, let's get into this topic of the plan and when we have to pivot. And sometimes sooner rather than later can save us a lot of money. In 2019, when I moved out here to California, I had a business called ConfidentbyWP, and it was thrifting of clothing. I would go to like Goodwills or Salvation Army. I would thrift and find good pieces, sell those online. It started by me cleaning out my personal closet, and then it kind of just built from there. I was getting stuff from like, my sisters and everything, if they had clothes that was in good standing and they wanted to sell it, etc. So Confident by WP was in play. There also was a piece of that I was doing drop shipping, and I was doing drop shipping through, I think, was it CPJ or CJ drop shipping? It's been a couple of years. My memory can get a little foggy, but for those that do drop shipping, you kind of have an idea what it is that I'm talking about. Nevertheless, we enter into 2019. Okay. So in 2019, I moved out here to California from Connecticut, and I'm keeping the business. I'm like, okay, I can do this thrift thing on the side. It was something that was really easy for me to bring in a couple of dollars. It could take care of a couple of bills, repurposing clothes I'm not wearing anymore, or things that I found that I thought people would be interested in. And I was like, all right, this works. It's a couple of dollars. So we get out here, and then we're out here, maybe not even a year, right? Because then COVID started, March 13th, 2020, will not forget. As I have this business, of course, that changed everything because, like I said, there was a drop shipping component to that as well. It wasn't just me just thrifting. It was a combo of the things. Well, come maybe August, September of, back it up. July. Come June, July of 2020. Here's what happened to me. I got scammed so bad. So if you recall, as far as like shipments, because of COVID and they were trying to figure out how everything was going, a lot of the freights were stuck in the ocean and they wouldn't allow for those shipments to come in. Well, I was still getting orders that was coming through my Macari and my Poshmark, but they were in the middle of the ocean and they could not be delivered. So then this started to impact my customers' experience. And, people will treat it as if we weren't in COVID, like as if we were Amazon. And kind of that's where my mindset about that in a small business world came from. Like folks don't really understand. They've gotten so used to being able to order something today, getting it same day, or ordering something today and getting it tomorrow because of Amazon, that they really forget how a small business structure works and how dependent it really is on the outside. It's not, an in-house AI technically advanced system. It's either maybe 1 to 3 people, if you're lucky, fulfilling all of these orders and trying to provide you the best customer service possible. Nevertheless, I was a solopreneur. I was trying to figure out how to hire someone and things like that, but it wasn't working for me at that time. And I also was in a space where I had yet to be really exposed to a lot of entrepreneurs who was on this journey, who understood where it was that I was coming from and where I was trying to get to. So I was feeling very alone. So, okay, we have June, July-ish, right? And we have the whole issue, the COVID, things can't come in from the freight because they're stuck in the ocean. Well, what ended up happening to me was customers now are canceling their orders, right? So now I'm starting to lose money because I need to pay them back because I have not been able to do what? Deliver their product in time. Rightfully so. So I'm losing money there on that regard. Then I went through a series of incidents where folks were using fraudulent credit cards, buying stuff from the store. Some stuff I did have. If it was things that I had already shipped it, right? So then it would be like a week or two or so later, then I would get notifications through my store, which I'm on Shopify. So I would get notifications through my store. And now we're saying that there is a fraudulent risk. It's been reported. And so now I'm going through all of these different cases, some of which I won with the banks for fraudulent credit card activities, others that I did not. Either way, I'm a solopreneur. Okay. And being that I was needing to pay for people using fraudulent credit cards, I was needing to pay the bank fees. I was needing to pay fees to Shopify for, their inconvenience, fees to their bank, fees to my bank. And it was just out of fucking control. So I said, all right, gotta let that go. All right. So we're in the middle of COVID. It's like July or so. And, I'm getting my groceries and stuff like that. And that was how the thought of the candles had came to me. And that's how BU Candles got birthed, because I was getting my groceries. I was doing Instacart and I was getting my groceries. And I noticed that every single time that I did an order, I always was adding in a candle. And I was like, I wonder if I could do it. We're all in the house trying to figure out what to do. I'm making TikToks. Yeah, because I'm an actress. That's what I do. I'm having fun, good time, making relationships online, the best that we know how, right? So I say, all right, let me see if I can make these candles. And then I fell in love with it. Then I fell in love with the creative process, because it definitely tied right into, me being able to touch and do and move, which is really part of my core. I love to be in a creative space. So it started off with me doing, dessert candles and trying different jars. And I ordered me a kit off of Amazon, and I learned how to do it. And then I went to YouTube University. And then before you know it, this business had started to blossom. And there was a lot of it that, I was really trying to recover from a lot of the money that I had lost by doing Confident by WP. So I had dissolved Confident by WP, and then I picked up BU Candles. Now let's pause. So when I moved out here in 2019, my plan was, because I'm an actress first, right? The Confident by WP was really just, some extra income to maybe help me with my headshots and etc. So that I didn't have to pull so much from my main income, which that takes care of my house. I said I was going to come out here, that I was going to resume on my production company, because before I had left Connecticut, I had did a movie, and my Right Positive has 2 DBAs, right? So it had Right Positive Films, and then it has Right Positive. So I was like, okay, when I get out here, I want to find me a team, because I had me a team back home. But I'm like, I need to find me a team so I can continue to write, direct, produce, because that's right up my alley, right? So I was like, that is what I want to do. But before I do that, I want to make sure that my son is comfortable, because it's just him and I, and we are doing this whole transition, which segue, he got much more comfortable in things farther than what I expected. Okay. Farther than what I expected. So I was like, I was going to hold off on auditioning and stuff like that, because I know that pulls me away. But he got up good and going. He was now in school. He was in 5th grade at the time. And he was like, Mom, I'm good. And made me some friends. I've joined the baseball team. He dived right in. So I'm like, okay, let me jump into my thing. And that's what I had did. So as we were getting into that, I was like, I'm going to find me a team, and I'm going to make me some friends. Okay. I said, I'm going to make me some friends. Now, like I said, we're not even here a year, and bam, COVID. So keeping in mind what the plan originally was, is that I was coming out here, continuing on my entertainment, we'll say journey, because it encompasses everything: acting, writing, directing, producing, and continuing to do a lot more of my own content. I got thrown off. I got completely thrown off. And my throw off, thinking back on it, was from the point when I was scammed with my business and Confident by WP. I realize now in hindsight that I was kind of like in a panic mode. You ever just have something like happen and then you're just like, I got to fix it. I got to figure out something I got to do. Like, what's next? And now at this point, it's me and just my son out here, right? So it's not like that. It's a lot of people, like I said, that I'm dealing with that really understood what it was that what I'm in this entrepreneurial journey, because I had yet to meet those people yet. I didn't even know how to really put myself in those circles. I just kept trying. I just kept trying things. So as this was happening, I got off of what my original plan was. And it was what? The production and to make me some friends coming out here, because I'm a person that really does love community. I love community. I love some good girlfriends. I love me some good girlfriends. So in the midst of panic mode, dissolving Confident by WP and then picking up BU Candles then kind of took on its own life of its own. And then my energy shifted and a lot of that went there. And then mind you, now we're in COVID. So all of this stuff is kind of like happening, right? So now we're in COVID. I'm getting some jobs, needing to wear a mask, but, we're trying to bob and weave. I'm starting to do craft fairs, just bobbing and weaving. Now I'm meeting people who is more in business and I'm getting connections and it's just all starting to happen. Okay. So I'm acting, I'm doing that, but now BU Candles is now taking on a life of its own. So we get going and now the business is, we're doing this, we're rocking and we're rolling. What I realized in this was that BU Candles was a business transition for me for where it is that I said I had on the original plan. And this is all hindsight 2020. I kid you not. So like I said, there was things about business that I did not know that I was trying to figure out. And I promise you, I wasted a lot of money. I thought I wasted a lot of money trying to figure it out. But now that I'm thinking about it, it wasn't a waste. It was necessary in order for me to know how I wanted to move and shake forward. Okay. So, all right. I learned so much, like in these 5 years of BU Candles. I've made so many business relationships. I'm trademarked, and now I'm working on, the trademark for Right Positive Films. I've met people now in the industry that I didn't know before that I have now been able to create me a team. I have met me some good girlfriends, and I'm going to talk about that in a different video. This one is all just about the plans, but that one, we're definitely going to talk about how to get some friends. Okay. But I realize now that when we have a plan and we are on that journey, we can see it. It's so very clear where it is that we're going. And we think that we are going to do the things that we need to do to get there. We don't realize in the moment that sometimes that shift to pull us off is exactly what we need, because there's just a little bit more that we need to learn. There's a little bit more that we need to get familiar with so that it can help us and arm us in the places that we are going. So as I sit here and I dissolve BU Candles in this moment, I am so very excited to really be going back to picking up the production of Right Positive Films, right? But now I am going back into that with a knowledge in business that I wasn't even close to having 5 years ago when I was trying to go in that path. So the plan that you have, it may be excellent, okay? But it may not be time. That's the message that I have learned is don't think that because the vision that you have, it's so clear, it's right here, it's right now, that now is the right time. Sometimes you have the vision to know where it is that you are going. You can see, I can tell you where it is that I am going to be. That is very clear for me. What I never see is all of that mud that's in the middle. What is it that I need to learn, what I need to experience before I get there? I just be ready to get there because I can see it. But I am very thankful. I am thankful for these 5 years with BU Candles when I got off track, these 5 years when I got off track of not, finding my friends. I am very grateful for it because it has built something in me. It built I already had I am a resilient person. Okay. I will keep trying until something sticks, but this built a level of resilience in me that also allowed an openness to me to receive the changes. And it also taught me how to bob and weave, to pivot quickly, because there are different spaces where I can think back in the BU Candles journey that I probably could have paused and said, okay, now's the time. Well, before I got into the place of paying so much out of my personal pocket in order to sustain the business. But clearly it wasn't time for me because I had yet to learn the lesson I needed to learn. So my business lesson that I learned is that's definitely in small business. When you see things as they are, you have to accept things as they are, pivot quickly, recognize and adjust quickly, saves you a lot of money. So now as I am transitioning, I am very excited to share that I am jumping back into my production company. And like I said, it's going through trademarking. I have me a production assistant. I have me a director on staff. I have me a sound guy. I am writing. I'm doing some collaboration with different writers and I am looking for a creative director and I'm scouting funding and I'm just taking different paths in this journey that I did not even know to look for before because I was missing part of the business side, even though I'm business savvy. One thing you have to know is that you don't know everything. And the moment that you can say, I don't know everything, I am open, so many doors, so many windows just open up for you just to catch that breeze and walk right through. So if you have a plan and you can see the ending vision of that plan, but somehow you're just moving and shaking your like, I can't quite get there. Stop for a second and ask yourself, what am I supposed to be learning right now in this moment, in this space, in order to allow for me to get to that vision that I see ahead? And it will totally pull you back. And it'll allow you to give yourself grace as you try and figure out the things that you don't know. And I know that at this point, this is all I know right now, but I am open. I am so very open to all that I will experience moving forward because every single step is only getting me closer to that bigger vision that I see every night when I close my eyes and go to sleep. Okay? So if you enjoyed this message, please hit the subscribe button, drop me a comment, give me the thumbs up because your plan is a good plan. It may not be now that it's supposed to be executed, but keep moving and shaking. Keep moving in that direction. And one day it all will be made clear to you. All right. Stay happy, stay beautiful, stay balanced.